Alrighty, also we just got back from the grocery store, and while we were there, we picked up some of these briskets from Super One Foods, and we're just gonna experiment cooking these briskets in the Instapot like a roast, because right now this is the cheapest big meat cuts that we found so far. This was $3.98 a pound for a big old brisket like this. And this one's about 18 pounds, and so is this one. So we're gonna cut it in half and then cook it in the Instapot like a roast and use it just like a roast because it is way cheaper than a roast and it should be just as good. It's very marbled and has good grain. So let's cut it up.
So get out my other Instapot.
That's one.
Okay. I'm just gonna do 2.5 hours. And I think that'll be perfect. And we just put water in there, y'all, and then we can season it with saw and butter when it comes out. And then what are you gonna do with the second one?
The second one I'm gonna smoke.
You're gonna smoke that
Yeah,
one?
I'll trim it and I'll season it, then I'll let it sit in the fridge tomorrow, and then tomorrow morning I'll put it in the smoker and I'll smoke all that. I'm prepping the brisket that I'm going to use in the smoker. So I got a sharp knife and I'm trimming off, they call it the fat cap or the hard cap on the brisket. It's this fat that comes off the corner of the cow's shoulder, and it's really like, it's not normal fat that melts, like it's hard, like it won't dissolve or anything unless you like really take hours and render it down. So this will just crystallize in the smoker and then turn rock hard and you can't eat it. So I'm trimming this off before I get this prepped for the smoker tomorrow, because there's a section of it here and then there's a back section of it. And then the bottom is a solid fat cap, but that will render down. But you gotta trim it or it will just stay hard in the smoker. So if y'all are looking for some of your own beef and some of your own briskets and roast and ground beef, going over to TheTexasBoys.com. Go to the butcher shop, and if you are in the Texas, Oklahoma area, or nearby or not nearby and you just want to drive, we do pick up in Mount Pleasant for our local beef. So y'all can go check that out on the website and reserve your cow today. Since we ran out of our beef, we are buying some meat from the store, hence these brisket, because we're selling it faster than we can get it for ourselves, because y'all are buying it up. So we have some cows in the butcher right now that are hanging for us, but until then we're just buying a little bit of meat to get ourselves through. Alrighty, y'all, so this is the brisket that I just finished trimming up all the fat cap off of it, underneath and everything. Just left about a 1/2 inch on the bottom. And it's all trimmed up now, so what it needs is I'm going to salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic on it, put that all over it. Then it will go in a tray in the fridge and it'll sit overnight, and that'll let it really soak in that flavor and really get loose, and then in the morning I'll smoke it. And it is a big cut of meat, so you can go, you don't have to go light on the seasonings. It's really going to have to soak it in. And I'll mix it all in evenly. And then what you want to do is just evenly rub this in every part, and then we'll rub it in the bottom too, and then you pat it in. That way it doesn't come off. And as this sits in the fridge, it will start to sweat, and that'll really make everything stick. And I'll just get the bottom. You can see the fat cap still here. I didn't cut it all the way off. You want that because for your first like 3 hours on the smoker, 2 to 3 hours, you just cook it right on the fat cap with nothing, no cover, no nothing, not in the tray or anything. So you want that fat cap will cook down.
So you have been the main cook in the family for a long time. What's your opinion of the carnivore diet?
I think it's really good. I think it simplifies things. It makes it definitely not as hard. A little less options, but I mean, it's really just you eat when you're hungry and you're full and you're good. And I think it's definitely helped out a lot, giving us, making us way more sustainable because we can pretty much provide 100% of everything that we use. So, super cool. Okay, so I have garlic here. I'm going to go really light on this because it can get way too garlicky too quick. If you don't know how to season a brisket, definitely watch some good videos. Don't follow me. And you can just get, if you find a really good brisket rub, they have a lot of them out there at grocery stores and stuff. Like if you find a good peppery brisket rub, that makes it simple. If you don't know what spices to do, you can just put that on there. And it's really not that hard. It's just, when you're out at the smoker, it's just a temperature rating game. And then I have the probes on my pit ball, so I could just probe this, and I don't have to open it up, and it's really just getting it to that about 202 to 204 internal temperature, where the meat really breaks down and becomes tender. So it's not as hard as people say it is. It's just a patience thing, and just being low and slow.
So y'all, you got the whole skinny there with James and the meat and the brisket, and I'm really excited to be getting these briskets for a large family. That is a great deal. So check out your local stores, butcher shops, places like that where maybe you can get a brisket for a reasonable price too, and you could just cook up a whole bunch and then put the extra in the refrigerator and eat on that during the week, or just take it out, put it in the freezer in freezer bags, and then take it out, and you can always heat it back up with more tallow. And speaking of tallow, all of that fat that you've seen that came off of that brisket, you'd have a couple options with that. You could go ahead and take that fat and work it down, melt it down, and make it into your own tallow. And then that's a 2-for-1 deal also for that big brisket cut. If you don't have the time or availability or whatever to do that, don't forget you can get tallow. I know I mentioned it before. There's several different companies that sell grass-fed, grass-finished tallow, and I get this one. It's made by, I think it's called SULU company, and it's 100% pure grass-fed, grass-finished beef tallow. It's a big bucket of it, 7 pounds, and I think I pay like $45 maybe for it. I know it lasts us a long time. So what you missed this morning was everybody had egg waffles this morning. So how we make our egg waffles, I'll just explain it to you real quick, is we scramble up some eggs, and then we put in just a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of cinnamon and a little teaspoon, a half a teaspoon if you're just doing one waffle, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and mix that in really good. Make sure that your waffle maker is nice and hot. Put your butter in your waffle maker so it's nice and buttered, ready to go. And when it's ready to go, you just pour your egg mixture in there, and it makes an amazing waffle. So the kids really, really enjoy that. That's what they had for breakfast this morning. And then they just top it with a little bit of our honey, and they really like that. So that's been great for them. I made my fatty latte. A couple of the other kids had fatty lattes as well, either butter style or tallow style. And it is about, what time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock, y'all. I haven't even eaten today yet. So that's just how full you feel when you're eating this way. It's kind of crazy. Now the kids did pick up some, I just think this stuff is helpful. And if you're like a carnivore purist and this totally freaks you out, that's okay. You do your thing, we'll do our thing. But when we're trying to make this doable for a family of 8 and not have to do it like short term, but actually have to do this and make it realistic in the long term for all of us, These are kind of some of the concessions that we found. So the boys picked up this big slab of beef jerky. It's not perfect. I didn't actually prefer it. I had a taste of it, but my little kids and my big kids super loved this big slab of beef jerky, and they had that for a snack today in the car while we were driving around and getting stuff done. And I am having some of my Relight, and I think I showed y'all before, but the Redmond's Relight. If you're starting out on the carnivore diet, I highly recommend. I know that the Elements brand is out there as well, and if it's just one or two of you, maybe that will be the way to go. But if you're on a tight budget or there's more than one or two of you, the Relight brand is half the price per ounce, half the price than the Element packets. And they come in packets as well. I'm sure they're probably a little cheaper than Element, but they get pricey when they're in the packets. But what I do is I tell the boys, my older boys, to just make your drink ahead of time before you leave, and put some ice in it, and just have a thermos, like a coffee thermos or something, and pick out your Relight. I got lots of different flavors here for them to pick from, and it just added the excitement, and it just really gets you through when you're first starting out, or even just your middle of the day, lag. You can just have a glass of Relight. Make sure that you're putting 1 scoop per 32 ounces. You don't want to dehydrate yourself backwards by drinking so many electrolytes and not enough water. That's not good. So the other thing that we picked up today when we were out, it's been several weeks now since we had bacon in the house, and I asked the kids while we were at the grocery store, go look at all those meats. Does anything look good to you? And they saw some bacon over there, and although we have our own pigs and blah, 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 it's been hard to keep the freezers full, because with selling the meat and then trying to provide for our own family, we're trying to figure out where that balance is. So they picked out some bacon, and the other awesome thing is, I'm going to put y'all right here. So the other awesome thing that happened today is that it's James's birthday. It's James's 16th birthday today. And what we have found since we started the carnivore diet is that the kids absolutely love it if we have an ice cream party for their birthday. So thankfully, there's a local brand of ice cream that our grocery stores carry that have very clean, no artificial ingredients things. So just do the best you can where you're at, what your options are. Look at your ingredients, make sure you're reading your ingredients. But we do make the exception for ice cream, for a special treat for the kids and for birthdays. It's an awesome birthday idea. So they have fun today picking out all the different ice creams for the we have birthdays this week. So that was really fun, and it was just an easy alternative to a birthday party with a birthday cake. And what else was I going to tell you? One more. Hey y'all, one more thing before I move on to my lunch is that I was talking to you about ice cream. So when I have ice cream tonight and when my husband has ice cream tonight, I won't be having the regular store-bought ice cream because I am trying to control my sugar and my carb intake. So I make this keto ice cream, and I've talked about it before. It's so simple. I did look for heavy cream, a clean ingredient heavy cream today at the grocery store. It was a new grocery store. Still zero options on finding clean ingredient heavy cream. So that was a no-go. So my backup to that is, because I cannot find a clean ingredient heavy cream, I even went to the dairy today, and the dairy is all wiped out right now, our local dairy, of milk and everything. A lot of their cows are all dried up. So that was a no-go too. So I just go ahead and use a heavy coconut cream. It's a canned coconut cream, and then I put about 6 eggs. You can see how yellow this is. I put about 6 eggs in it and a little bit of vanilla and just a teaspoon of honey. That would be optional, or you could use stevia sweetener if you have, I know they make like all the delicious like flavored stevia sweeteners too, so you could find some type of like clean keto sweetener, I'm sure, and make flavored ice cream for yourself. But I just keep it simple. We have the honey here on the farm, so I just do a teaspoon of our honey for a quart of this, and then a little bit of vanilla and 6 eggs. And this is delicious to me. So let me just explain real quick. So we have a Ninja Creamy that my son bought a while ago, and it's a really awesome little machine, and it can make all different types of ice creams in it. And the really cool thing about the Ninja Creamy is you can buy a bunch of these extra little containers with the little snap-on lids, and you can make up a whole bunch of ice cream. And then you stick it in the freezer and you freeze it overnight. And I have tons of these in my freezer ready to go. And then whenever you get a hankering for ice cream, keto ice cream, you can just grab one of these out of the freezer, pop it in the Ninja Creamy, and it'll stir it real quick for you, whip it all up, and then you have your ice cream. So you don't have to go through the whole process of making the ice cream in the ice cream maker and doing all that, because then that takes like a couple hours, and then by then you're like, oh, forget it, I just want to grab something else to eat. So that would be bad. So you got to set yourself up for success. Get yourself a whole bunch of these Ninja Creamy containers, and you don't have to buy the Ninja line. You can buy the whatever knockoffs. That's what I did. Have these in the freezer ready to go. Yes, the Ninja Creamy machine is a little bit more expensive than regular standard ice cream machines, but it's so convenient and so nice to have these on hand. And my little kids eat these all throughout the day, depending. They'll go through seasons with this. So there's sometimes, like there's some weeks where they'll have ice cream, especially if it's hot out that week. They might come in and have ice cream like once during the day, and then they'll have ice cream again in the evening. And then there's some weeks where they just haven't had any ice cream at all. They're defaulting back to frozen blueberries or something like that. We do have frozen blueberries and frozen strawberries in the freezer at all times for our little kids. And I did add back in last week, I think the frozen peaches were on sale. So I got them some frozen peaches. This week, I think it was like a bag of frozen mixed fruit was on sale. So I got them some of that, and they'll just put some of the frozen fruit in a bowl, whether it's blueberries, strawberries, whatever, and then they'll just have that as a snack. So that's pretty cool too. They're still doing a smoothie, usually like, it might not be every single day, but maybe like every other day or a few times a week. They'll, sometimes in the morning when they wake up for breakfast, my little kids or my bigger ones will say, I'm going to have a smoothie for breakfast. It just depends on what they feel like their body is asking for. So, again, our smoothies are just either frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries. The one week we did have frozen peaches, and then just a scoop of the keto powder, and then keto-friendly powder, and then water. So very, very clean ingredients, but it's just such a great option for them. I attempted to have a fruit smoothie the other day. I thought that I wanted one for lunch, so I made one, and it was frozen strawberries. And I drank like maybe that much of it, and I was like, I do not want this. It is so sweet. So it's just funny how your tastes do change. But this is not sweet. This is just perfect to me. This is just like a perfect, it has a little bit of sweetness from the little bit of honey that I put in it, but nothing else. And it just tastes so, so rich and so good. So highly recommend it. Or maybe you could do it with a yogurt if you can find the clean ingredient, like a Greek yogurt, or again, like a heavy cream if you can find it. But if you can't, and you have to do like I do, I just order by the case of the heavy coconut cream, and I just make it like that. So not perfect, but it's doable, and it doesn't mess up my sugar. I've tested my ketones. before and after and all that, and this does not affect my ketones one bit. It's totally fine. So I do it. I don't do it every single day, but maybe like a couple times a week, maybe 3 times a week. You can go every other night or something. Just play around with it and see if it's making you gain weight or anything like that. You know, that's a different thing. So anyway, I am going to make some sausage. I have some brown sausage already made up in the fridge. I'm going to reheat that and put some fried eggs on top of it, and that is going to be my lunch. Okay, y'all. Ignore the hissing behind me. It's just the Instapot's cooking. So I'm going to throw in this half a stick of butter, and I'm going to add in my breakfast sausage. And this is our breakfast sausage from our pig that we had done. And I'm just going to make a little spot over here, and I'm going to fry up a couple eggs. And these are some grocery store eggs, because our girls, although we have 90 hens out there, actually there are some eggs out there right now. I need somebody to go collect eggs this afternoon, because there are some eggs in the coop right now. But they have slowed down because of the heat. So we just got back to our rain, our first rain for, how many months has it been? Like 3 months?
Yeah, I think.
And I know there'll be the cooler weather that came with the rain today will help them a lot. So just gonna go ahead and fry up. I got 3 fried eggs, and I'll add some of our Redmond salt, the real salt. We love this. I'll spread that on really heavily, and sausage and butter. Feeling so amazing. I know Kelly Hogan said the other day, I was watching one of her videos, and she said a lot of people say I came to carnivore for vanity and I stayed for sanity, you know, because a lot of people come to the carnivore diet for losing weight, right? That's, a lot of people just come because they're losing weight. A lot of people come because they have serious health issues too. They weren't the reasons that I came to the carnivore diet. I came to the carnivore diet as a decision to be more sustainable for our farm and for our homestead. I was tired of banging my head against the wall for the last 9 years and trying to maintain a garden and just put away food and preserve food and be sustainable for our family. And I was just really at my wit's end with it. And I was also at my wit's end with all of the wokeness that was going on in the past few years at the grocery stores. And so when the carnivore thing kept coming up over and over on different homestead channels, and people were just sharing the successes that they had, as well as just experiences from local friends here and their great success on carnivore, I was like, you know what? I have a lot of meat. Like, we have meat put away, and why don't we just do this just for sustainability reasons? Why don't we just try this and see if it would work out? And lo and behold, it works out beautifully. And it really took us from not sustainable to highly sustainable, even to the point that now we are helping to provide meat for other families locally, and that is just amazing. It's an amazing feeling. It just feels so wonderful every single month to meet more and more of you and just be able to network together and provide local healthy meat to other families and for ourselves and for our own families. And I know that in the past, like, our freezers, we had 7 freezers. We have 7 freezers in our house. I converted my old laundry room into a freezer room, and and all the meat was just like sitting there. Like we had a little bit of meat every night, or once in a while we'd skip a night and not have meat, but mainly every single night we'd have meat. But we were also having our starches, we were having our rice, we were having our vegetables, and it took us forever to go through meat, like forever. And I mean, now it's like we just fly through meat. We're doing really, really well being able to eat more meat. Everybody's healthier, everybody's happier. It's just, there's so many wonderful benefits of it. I could go on and on and on and make a whole nother video just on the health benefits that me and my husband have experienced, as well as our children, but maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. I gotta get into this. I gotta eat this, y'all. It is so, so good. It looks so good. And it's buttery sausage. How could it not be good? Also, if you're starting out, eat meat that you enjoy. So when I started out for the first month or so, I loved this breakfast sausage. So I would have this every single morning with a couple fried eggs over it, salted, and have my coffee. And that's what I ate every single morning. What you got? Got eggs. Whoa, you got a lot of eggs. Are these all filled up?
No, not this one. Just
oh, that one just has
6 more.
Okay. Whoa. Good job, girls. And who's that right there?
Chi-Chi.
That's Chi-Chi. She's your old baby chick. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for collecting all the eggs for me. Yeah. Thanks. Hello, Miss Butter. I'm gonna be nice and share.
Fatty goodness.
That's a lot of fat. That's a lot.
I know. I don't want mine.
Wow, it's like sizzling. Okay, let me get a plate.
I don't want. Oh.
Bob, have you got served yet?
No.
It's served.
Is
What
it
does
good?
look like?
Yeah, super good.
It's your bomb. You go, Bob.
Yeah, you're gonna put butter and salt on it.
How much do you want? I know you.
What did you put on your plate? Good.
Is it good?
Good.
What number? Like 1 to 10?
One
How
out
would
of
you
10,
how would you
like,
rate it?
1 to 10
I didn't
rating.
even eat it yet.
Oh. You gotta try it, you silly
Just said
goose.
really good.
Well,
This might be a little
I
bit
melted the
extra
butter.
meat, so if anybody
Oh.
else wants, I'll take
It's good meat.
hey, what number count?
What? Yeah. What number?
Hey,
what would you give it? What's your number? 1 to 10.
You know where the pepper is?
3.
Down
A
here.
3?
Uh-huh.
Just giving it a good solid 3.
I'm gonna give it
Take your patty outside.
a 30.
30. Whoa.
Wow. Patty. It's
Wow. All right, y'all. So dinner is amazing. Everybody's enjoying it. We're having butter and our Redmond salt, and that is like so much better than like even any kind of barbecue sauce or topping. You have a little bit of that keto barbecue sauce there,
Yep.
but everybody else has just kind of migrated to butter and salt. It's like the best. But give yourself grace if you're just starting out. Enjoy your toppings. If you're just starting out, you can wean yourself off, or give yourself a special treat once in a while. So we'll see you at ice cream time. Get the crunchy parts too. So good. So here's my Dr. Kilt's type makeshift recipe. Like I said, I'm not able to find good clean cream, so until then I've just been using my coconut cream and full fat heavy coconut cream, and then just eggs, lots of eggs, and vanilla, and a little bit of our honey, and it is really, really good, y'all. Makes a really good ice cream. So good. So good every time. And you could take, like I said, those keto drops, like the the different flavored keto drops with stevia, and you could make it hazelnut ice cream or make it whatever kind you want to. If you didn't want to use the honey to sweeten it, you could sweeten it with those and actually have flavored ice cream. This is really, really good. So hope y'all enjoyed our day, what we eat in a day, and we'll try to pop back on here again and just encourage y'all, do the best you can where you're at, be gracious to yourself, and we'll see you next time. Bye.